completely new out of the bag. It's going to say auto prime at the top button, and it's gonna say manually prime on the third button, exactly like your current pump. Always hit the auto prime because it gets the air bubbles out better than we can, all right? Because you have a flush bag hanging. It's gonna take a little bit of water out of the flush bag, and then it's gonna take your food, and the food weighs a lot more than water, so it gets all the air bubbles out for you. I don't have that option because I've been using this set, you know, for a lot of demos. So I have to do the manual prime, and I'm gonna say prime feed, and I'm gonna hold it down a little bit. This is my patient. I want you to see what it does here. Prime feed. I'm trying to get all the air bubbles out, which will be hard because I've got them everywhere. All right, so we're primed. Nothing different in the priming with the new pump versus the old pump. All right, so let's say we're done, and then you hit start at the bottom. And when your pump is running, this is what it looks like. You always will have a green screen. It literally tells you it's feeding. So I love the colored screens. Nice to see. That black water drop will be going. Versus when the pump is flushing, you'll see the blue water drop going. Night mode is right here. And then you get the orange screen for night mode. So any questions, that's all you really do to get it set up. But I do want to show you some options that you have, just real quick here. So while it's running, you can do a flush now. Does anybody use the flush now on the current pump? It works exactly the same way. It does not change your setting. You just hit the flush now. You program in what you want to flush. It flushes, and then it goes back to feeding again. No different there. Exactly the same. The time pause button is the same as the KTO on your current pump. It stops the pump automatically for 5 minutes, and it counts down. You should see a clock on there. It's counting down from 5 minutes. Now it's 4:20, whatever it is. Then after that 5 minutes is up, it automatically starts to feed again. So you don't have to do anything. It just is it's an automatic pause in the pump, and it will start feeding at the end of that time. And you can adjust this time. It doesn't always have to be 5 minutes. You might have somebody on a pump that is supposed to have a 2-hour rest or a 4-hour rest. You can go in, hit this time pause, adjust duration, and you can stop it the whole way up to 4 hours. So it's really nice if you've got somebody, I call it stomach rest, whatever you call it here. You put the number of minutes in you want the pump to pause, hit OK at the bottom, and now you can see it's counting down that 180 minutes. So I have it on pause for 3 hours, but I haven't had to disconnect the resident. You know, this is still in the resident's G-tube. I haven't had to turn the pump off. So it's really nice to use this function for things like that, where you really want the pump to be off for a bit of time and then start back up automatically. It saves you running back and forth. So any questions about that? You can change your mind. If you don't like that, you can just hit resume and your pump starts running again. This button is a lock screen. If I hold it down for 5 seconds, you're gonna see the pump goes, doesn't really go black, but it goes to where I can't. The children's facilities use the lock screen because the kids think it's, you know, their iPad and they want to play with it. So it's an easy way to lock the screen. You may not ever use it here. To unlock it, just hold it down for 5 seconds again, and you'll get all your functions back that you need. The next button down says show the flush. So it's feeding, and you might want to know, when's it going to flush again? What's my flush orders? And you just hit this button, and it tells you that. And it stays there for just a few seconds, about 10 seconds, and then it reverts back. The last button is the stop button. And this is if you want to stop the pump to find anything else, or you want to do something. Stop it. And you'll notice now it doesn't, you don't have that green